Welcome, 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 everybody. I am so excited for the conversation that we all get to have today with the Uplift Millions family. I've got two very, very, very special beings in my life who have made time for all of you who are listening and anywhere in the world to this conversation. I want to set you up that should you listen appropriately and correctly, your entire life can change as a result of the conversation that's going to occur. So, without further ado, Kai Gabriella, welcome to the stage of the Uplift Millions show. It's great to have you. Please introduce yourself and let us all know who you are.
So much.
Thanks. Hello. Yeah, we've been in the relationship space for about 7 years together. We met 9 years ago at a retreat in Spain. And we've been on quite a powerful journey of relationship. Our project is called Devotional Love, and our mission is to raise relationship consciousness and preserve the innocence of children. And the reason why that matters so much to us is because we have 3 boys. We have a mixed family. Gabrielle has 2 boys from her previous marriage. We have a son together. And we see how important the sacredness and the unity of the relationship is for the kids. We see how if that's off, they have this toxic environment that they live in, and it affects them, and they don't get to thrive, and they take on the bad habits of the parents, and they have to work off. They have to go to therapy later in life, or they have to get a coach to work it off, the work that the parent didn't do. And so we have, Gabriella has her history with some parents of her own that did that to her, and I had great parents, but I had a traumatic event when I was young that I had to work through. So I wasn't creating the problems in my kids. And so we've really gone through our own journey of transformation, but also we have walked many other couples through that journey of transformation, and in a very unique way, because we have quite different.
And we'll dive all into that. Gabriella, jump on in. Say hello.
Hello. I'm very moved to be here with you, Alok, with my husband Kai, obviously. Yes, we have a message, and the message is profound and is urgent, and is about the responsibility that we have towards the next generations as adults. Whether or not you're a parent, you will be an example, healthy or not healthy, that you give to kids, to young adults, to teenagers. And the importance of that is gonna determine the future of humanity. So we're talking about.
Let's get into this here, because we're just gonna start really kind of take the gloves off, and we can kind of let's shake out and get in here. So this issue that people, couples, I think we know you and I, we've all been in the transformation space, and that change doesn't occur until someone has enough of a motivation, either because something gets so screwed up that they can't handle it any further, right? Or they have a desire that's strong enough. And if there's both involved, they'll make a change, right? But so many couples, right? What holds couples back from raising their hand and really making an investment into their relationship the number one priority? Why do you think they haven't? Is it that they don't connect that this is affecting the kids? Like, what do you think is going on that where they don't see, holy shit, we have to make, and not just a small investment, I'll get a little relationship coach on the side, or something, but like a full on, what do you think holds them back?
Resistance to intimacy, to vulnerability, and to what may come up, because everything come up in relationship work.
Right.
Everything from your birth, your childhood, your parents, your relationship with them, your relationship to yourself, sexuality, intimacy, lies, whether or not you're aware of them, they will come up. So it's scary. It's a scary type of work because it's deep, yet necessary. So this is the first and biggest obstacle that I see. Even when people want to do the work, then they will feel something big is coming. And I don't know if I can do it. We saw this many times. And yeah, do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, what I've seen doing a lot of different trauma work with people over the years, because I have a background where I did a lot of healing work, I've seen that people have protectors. And they protect them from those deeper wounds that got created in childhood. And only in deep, intimate relationships do those protectors start to disengage, and then all the shit comes out. And so intimate relationships brings out the unresolved wounds from childhood. And that's the kind of work that comes up in this relational domain, where in professional domain or personal domain, you can keep that at a distance. So you can go around your work, on your business, which is like something external to me that I build, but it's not my feeling of vulnerability when I was abandoned by my dad, or when I was, when I was ignored by my mom, like those types, and those are not specific to me, but that's an example of what gets covered up. So when people are thinking about working on the topic of relationship, it's often those, we call it Pandora's box. It's the things that you didn't deal with. It's the thing you left until last. And it's the most sensitive and vulnerable topics that you're going to bring up too, where there's no place to hide. So I found that the protectors actually are avoidance or fight and resistance or trying to fix themselves. Those can get in the way of them stepping in. And we have ways of working with them. We have really simple, clear-cut ways to help get past the protectors, get to vulnerability and safety.
And many people listening probably don't know what protectors are. So for anyone listening, it's the parts of you that show up to protect the other parts of you. And you may not even understand what I'm saying here, but we're just planting seeds so you can begin to open up to this notion of what they're talking about that really is just like amplified inside relation. And, I'd say there's another layer that I've seen, which I think there's something inside people that feel like a failure if they couldn't figure something out on their own. And I feel marriage, sex, sexuality, because it's so taboo almost to talk about these things, everyone sort of almost gets this default program. You should be able to figure out a relationship by being in the relationship and just, and what I've come to realize, certainly by, my time with you guys and all my studies, is like, whoa, these whole educational systems are simply not taught. So, or they've had bad experiences with like a crappy relationship therapist or something that really they'd leave session after session worse off. So can you tell everybody listening, like, what makes the two of you different in this landscape of all these different solutions? Why you two?
Well, first of all, we are husband and wife. Working together in the same session. Not always, but 80% of the sessions we give to couples or individuals are together. And that gives a multiplication of perspective, experience, knowledge, understanding, and we bring a relational dynamic into the session, which is a completely different thing than relating to one therapist, one coach, one counselor. So it has a breadth. It's expansive. It's large. It has.
And for someone who doesn't know, when you say we bring our relational dynamic, okay, or what? There are people who won't understand what that means. But I just wanted, can you say, treat us all like
Yeah,
right?
right. You're
But
right.
we're like sitting here like fifth graders, right? So
Mm-hmm.
help them really
So,
understand, what that is.
first
So they
of
can
all,
really go, wait, that's not like everything that I've experienced before.
right. First of all, is the experience that we have as a woman, a wife, a
Yeah.
mother, and a husband, a man. Um, as individuals.
Yeah.
Then we have a relationship ourselves. We have a
Yes.
marriage. Then we have kids. So we
Yes.
embody this path, the path that we call the path of devotional love. We embody that. We work on that every day,
Yes.
every hour of the day. We are in this dynamic. And so that
Yes.
we bring that experience, we bring that embodiment, we bring our insights, we bring that knowledge.
And I want everyone to hear
Fresh
this
life.
right here. Sorry, I want everybody to hear this. So, all of you who are listening, you are in a dynamic of some form in all of your relations. What she's saying there is, if you'd like a relationship that has a devotional energy of love as a baseline, healthy, they are embodying and walking it is a daily practice, it's a daily creation in their world. So it's not whether or not you have a dynamic for everybody listening. It's what's the quality of that dynamic. And I will tell you, because first of all, here's what they won't tell you. These two have invested over $1 million into their training across gazillion years. They have done more training than I cannot list other relational specialists, of which I know quite a number, who get even remotely close to the depth and range across intimacy, communication, regulating the central nervous system, divine masculine and feminine, relational communication, sex, intimacy, all the pieces. You guys have not, you've put the time, you've invested the money way beyond the average relational specialist, way beyond even the therapist that went 200,000 deep for their degrees. You guys have gone way further. That's why I want all of you listening to know that when they're talking, this is what's informing the landscape. It is not average.
Yeah, it's true. We put our dedication and our devotion into that before putting it in our relationship and our work, which is our purpose.
Yeah, and I would say that what makes us different than other coaches, other people that we've seen, is the diversity. We've found a way to blend our diversity. In the beginning, diversity was like, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. And this is an interesting thing. Like, we're working together as business partners. We are parents, and we're lovers, and we're like partners. So we're living a path where we've weaved our two lives into one. And we come from different worlds. She's Italian, she's 9 years older, she had kids before, from a previous relationship. I met her at 28. I became a stepfather almost immediately within like 4 or 5 months. And we've built our life since, but we are very different. And differences have allowed us to bring different qualities into the relational dynamic that gets shared with couples. And so the differences between our backgrounds, hers in tantra and embodiment and avatar and different, schools of work.
Yes.
Mine from healing, coaching, breath work, shamanism, different aspects of my work blended together create something unique. And that's what a relationship is. Like, you bring one thing, I bring another thing, but then there's something in between that gets created. So we're not just sharing our individual knowledge and our expertise and our skills, we're creating a certain kind of space. A space where people can explore all sorts of topics inside of a relationship in one place. Because typically you'd go to a healer somewhere else, you'd go to a therapist over there, you'd go to a coach who'd work on the future. We have all those backgrounds covered between us, so we don't just isolate into coaching or only therapy or only mentorship. We actually blend everything depending on what's needed. So whoever's in front of us will get what they need, whether that's future-oriented work, coaching, whether that's past-oriented work, which is more therapeutic and healing, whether that's present, which is more meditative and spiritual. It's what they need, and we have different backgrounds that can provide that. So that's what sets us apart from, I'd say, a solo therapist or a solo coach. And, we're working as a dynamic, as a team, as a duo.
That right there is so well said. It's that piece that rather than going a la carte to all these things and piecemealing it together and duct taping it here and there, probably in the wrong order, because they're just sort of, stumbling into it. You're saying you can just come here. And I've watched you do this. Well, actually, we're going to start with the healing work, right? Let's say, hey, actually, we're not going to be able to do relational work. We're going to start with, we are going to have to actually, the first stop is this. And that is so different and so rare. And to really create a curated experience that says, what is the exact modalities, the range of the modalities, and the order of the modalities, rather than go, okay, well, we're going to need you to go over there for like 2 months first. It's like you get to come, you're like the Whole Foods of relationship and intimacy, like the highest quality, the most premium place, all under one roof. The other thing I want to just everyone to say that for me is just I want you to hear it from my side, which is white glove. Your guys' level of attention to those that work with you is just above average. The speed. And I said to clients yesterday, I said, they both listen to the voice notes that are sometimes long on one speed. That's not one of them then saying, hey, you should hear the message. Let me give you the cliff notes. They're both sitting there. I told my clients, they're both sitting there. My clients are like, they do what? So your service, your attention, your speed and attentiveness and presence. And I want everyone to hear this, because I first met these two by seeing them on a stage at a certain point. And I was just like, oh, you'd have to be blind and dead to not understand that you were experiencing something that isn't the normal marital existence. You guys are a walking code. So for anybody listening, I'm telling you, you don't have, they won't say this, but that's what you'll experience. You'll go, oh, they definitely are playing in like a 0.1% of relational cultivation. So thank you for just the example. I think that's the most important. You guys are the example.
Thank you.
And you guys don't claim to be perfect. You guys reveal all of what's going on, so that everyone go, okay, they can look under the hood and see. Most of us were never shown a great example. I would argue that the entirety that someone's going to pay you is just to experience the example. They won't know that's why they're paying you. And if you said to them, you're going to hand us all this huge investment, because it's not a small amount. You're going to hand us this huge investment, because tiny in comparison to avoiding a life of a shitty ass relationship over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Right.
And also tiny in comparison to what you'd miss out on if you didn't explore the full depth of it.
Yeah.
Because most people don't know you can tweak it. Like you can, this is cool that you bought a nice car.
Right.
You can fine tune it to get a lot more out of it. And like, that's where a lot of people are sitting in relationships. They don't realize the untapped potential.
It is really a thing. Because how do you say to somebody, hey, on the other side of that door, there's the most amazing world.
Yeah.
Right?
There's heaven on earth. We call it this way.
See? Everybody. Yeah. They're literally telling you. But your mind's going, I don't even know what they're talking about. People are listening right now going, they're saying things, but I don't even know what they're talking about, right? So we have to just sort of, what we're saying to all of you who are listening is, and I will be walking confident. I'm 48 years old, and I am a learner. I love to learn. And as I began on this whole track, and the two of them would blow my whole mind wide open on so many things, is you realize, wow, we don't know anything about this whole world of what sex, intimacy, relationship can be. I now understand that basically everybody's walking around naive and ignorant about the whole thing, not to their own fault. Then you're like, it could be, like, do you want another version?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want another version? Because we got another version.
Mm-hmm.
We got another version for you,
Yeah.
And then you go, what's that version? And you're like, it's really good.
It's really interesting that I've dreamed of this version since I was a child, to kind of escape my own reality where relationships were falling apart. I started projecting a movie in the screen of my consciousness that was portraying an extraordinary family and extraordinary relationships. And everything started there. That was the seed that I planted many, many years ago. I'm 46, so talking about when I was maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a mother. I always wanted to be a wife. But I always felt that was something absolutely possible to create an extraordinary experience out of the common, out of what I was seeing around me. I looked all my life for living examples of that. I found just few. I found some, but so rare. Well, I definitely wanted to be one of them. I definitely had to make a choice one day and say, I'm going to create this no matter what. And I put the hard work on it. And it started when I was a child, observing, taking notes, mental notes, learning, suffering, understanding, taking responsibility, failing.
I'm sorry, real quick. I want to just really make sure people feel this, which is the decision to say, I'm creating that which I didn't really see modeled. Like, it's different to say, hey, we're going to make your marriage awesome, and, there's, commitment, we talk about commitment, you guys only work with highly committed couples, right? I want this piece around, for the listeners, it's really just simple. Do you want to create something extraordinary? Like it's just got a different gravity than just, best sex of your life and all that stuff. It's like one has to actually just decide. I'm creating an extraordinary relationship and an extraordinary family. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but this is a decision I'm acting upon. And they don't need everybody listening to pop. They need the ones who are listening who go, I want that. I want whatever that is, because I can feel it. And I want that. And I want everyone to know it was a decision. She's telling you, yet you have to decide first. Now we're telling you, the three of us are now saying there is a path. And there's a living embodied example. And I don't do these types of things in this way. So if I'm doing this with these two beings, well, you take note of that if you want or not, up to you. but I don't do this lightly. So they are the real deal in this regard. I want to speak into particularly the delicacy of, for very successful people. You know, you guys know you guys are really are I would venture really well built for people that have already cracked the money code, who already have all the things, but they might be on the third fucking marriage. You know, it's like, or whatever. They know it's a mess at home. They know it's a train wreck. And, you know, particularly for that section of the population, just why are you guys, why are you two a great fit for them?
You know, what I have understood, just to give some context, is that society has taught people a lie. They taught them if you get successful and you learn that craft, then that will then take care of other areas of your life. And it's not the truth.
Right.
And we have spent so much time dedicated to figuring out the relational domain and the business domain as well. So we understand the entrepreneurial world. We've been entrepreneurs ourselves, me for 16 years, us together for 7. And we live, you know, maybe an outside of the box life. We travel with kids. We're living in Barcelona now for the last 2 years. We're going back to Bali.
Right.
To put our kids in the green school. Like, we have an outside of the box thinking. We want the best for our kids. We want the best education. We want the best kind of friendships. We want the best people. So we have this desire to create something exceptional and extraordinary in every area of our life. And people who are highly successful have that same kind of taste and that drive and that ambition. And probably they haven't understood or been given the keys to figuring out the marriage. And they're still using the skills they learned in the business in that domain, and it's not working, right? Coming home and being kind of the leader in the family doesn't always work if the leader is driving his business with force.
Right.
You come home, your partner, her nervous system, it's when it's safe, it opens. When it's unsafe, it closes.
Yes.
So, especially for men that are successful, they have to understand you're dealing with something more delicate than an employee, than a team, than people that
what they have to understand is they are completely untrained. That's what they have to understand. He won't say this. You're completely untrained. Almost everybody listening to this. And especially if you're successful and you're crushing it out there. And I see this with women too. It's very successful women, super in their masculine out there. They come home and emasculate their man at home, you know? So this piece.
It's a different set of skills.
It's a different set of skills. And I want them to hear this now. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to, because I know I want to make sure we get the couple things is what happens, because right now, I think the vast majority, we got Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We got a food, clothing, shelter. People are hustling. They got to get their, right? So, you know, then they're like, well, I'll get to the relationship, you know, down the road, right? Typically it's a lower, I know in my journey, it was like, let me figure out the business, right? I got to pay for my kids. I got to school to it or whatever, all the things, right? So we go, I got to fix the business. I'll get to the relationship. I'll work on it later. Okay. I think that's the default for most people. It's like, I know it's not great, but we'll figure it out. I got to get through Q1. And then, so I want people to hear why should, and we'll do this kind of short. I got 2 more that I want to do. Why should someone, what happens across health, wealth, relationships when they move relational mastery to number 1? Health, wealth, relationship. What happens?
I have a lot to say, but I don't know if you want to start or I will say something.
What I can just say from my own journey is that I didn't know that I was compensating with business and success for a deeper insecurity. That didn't allow me to be authentic fully in my relationship, and didn't allow me to fully create a safety of being myself where my partner could be herself. And the outcome we're in even a deeper season of connection and unity than we've ever been.
Yeah.
And I'm truly able to be present.
Yes.
In a way where I don't feel the need to fix anything that's coming up. There's no resistance or defensiveness. There's no feeling of I need to minimize her feelings or I need to change something about me. It's like I can truly be with her, and some of the things that she's been able to bring up into the relationship have been incredibly healing, have been life-changing.
Yeah.
We get to share that experience together because I've accessed a part of my masculinity and my presence.
Yes.
That is no longer about fixing and doing.
Right.
And that is, again, that performance-based world. Achievement. It's an action. It's what you do. Relational mastery is about who you are.
Yeah.
And I had insecurity.
And here's the piece that I want to make sure they hear, because here's my version of that, because I know what's occurred when I've received. So I want you and them to hear my side of the equation there, which is I believe that, or Gabrielle, go ahead.
No, sure. Okay. No, I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
It's very short, but it's the main thing I wanted to say, which is a relationship like this worked through, and it's portal.
Yes.
That opens new dimension of success and abundance that are unimaginable, because you think, I've succeeded here, I have so much money, so much of this, so many possibilities, freedom, I have everything. You don't know what it means when this portal opens up, what can come out of it. And the experience of heaven on earth just describes a little bit of what that feels like. That's it. Sorry.
I love it. And that's the key. That's the piece that I want everyone to hear, which is that when you move, what my experience, what they're saying is mirroring my experience, is that when you move I want everyone to hear this out there who's listening. If you are a highly successful being, and when you move relational mastery to number one, your bank account grows, your sex life improves, you're likely to shed weight that you were carrying, you're likely to feel better about yourself. Your relationship with your children's probably going to go through the fucking roof, and they're going to see you as an absolute superhero. Your wife's going to want to tear your clothes off all the time. You're going to become magnetic and glow, and everything is going to get easier and time's going to collapse. That's my experience. How does that sound to you guys? Does that sound match your experience?
It sounds normal when that portal opens.
Yeah.
It sounds like the life that you're gonna get. I'm sometimes overwhelmed by the beauty and the abundance I feel, and it doesn't depend on something happening outside. It's depending on what I'm experiencing inside, because of what we are creating. And there is this safety, this devotion, this dimension that opens, that I can't even describe, because it's a spiritual experience.
You guys experience wealth that billionaires likely have no idea about. And I want everybody out there to hear that. She is describing something that likely most of you listening are like, we don't know what she's talking about. We know that we don't know what that is. And we want that. So final thing I want to ask is, for anybody who's like, man, that's a big investment. I could just go to my relationship coach for 39 cents out of a gumball machine, why help them just understand it's good. It's going to be, anybody listening, it's going to be a solid investment. Help them understand. Not what it is, I don't need numbers and stuff like that, but just why should they be prepared? What's the difference?
Well,
so you don't run into this, oh my God, sticker shock, what?
One of them is, you are looking for someone that actually embodies what it is that you want.
Yeah. And
what I've noticed is that there's a lot of marketing out there. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of fluffing up. Yes. And we're the opposite. You know, we are not out there talking about ourselves. We're just doing the work.
Yes.
We do the work on ourselves. We do the work with our clients. We've grown our business from referrals. Largely, we didn't even have a website until like some months ago.
Yeah.
But we've been able to, because of the impact we make, have people refer our entire clientele to us. And we have a small number of people, like 10 at a time, that we give the majority and all of our
There
attention.
it is.
And when you're in our world, you are like family to us. You know, we take care of you, and we care about you, and you know, we really invest emotionally into our clients, which is very different than, say, a therapy or someone that, you know, a coach. We want to give them an experience of being loved.
I hope you do not, most of you listening, you almost can't understand what he just said, because I only understood it by experiencing it. They bring you essentially into their family. It's not a weird thing. You don't have to, it's just, you're going to feel loved. It's different than a therapist who sees you. And my therapist does care about me, but it's like, you know, I see them, I sit there for some time, no contact in between, then see them again. You guys, not only you're there, you're in, and I hope everybody heard, they only take 10, about 10 a year. This isn't, you know, mass market. This isn't, not that they won't do stuff eventually, like my books and all that, but they take 10 people. This is not out of a phone book. You don't just stumble into, I would say the price, the investment is nothing in comparison to the outcomes of heaven on earth. How can people take a next step into your orbit if they've been with us on this journey here? What's their next step?
So you can reach out either on email, which is support@devotionallove.com.
Great.
Talk to us, have a conversation with us, get to know us a little bit more. We can get to know you. You can also check out some of our socials at Devotional Love Project on Instagram. Again, we're not super present on there because we don't really want to invest our time on social media. We want to invest it into people. But there are some things there that you can see. And some links in our bio that would show you, you know, some of our blog posts and different things like that. And then I would say, if you feel a calling and you're not sure what that means, reach out anyway, because we're happy to engage. We're happy to have a conversation. If it's the right fit, it's the right fit. If not, that's okay.
And what I can tell everybody is they look, you're not going to have a pushy sale here. Nobody's fair. That's a big investment, but they're going to know if it's right. They're not going to say yes to you if it's not the right next step. So they're not going to put you in some headlock. If something in this transmission says, I think there's something different there, your body is correct. You're experiencing something different here. I am telling you, the listener, you're experiencing something different, because I'm telling you that from experience, because I've sampled. I'm not a rookie here. And they are just playing at a different league. It's like, in my experience, and I've had phenomenal practitioners. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus at all. I've had some that are better than others, but you know, they've all been solid. I respect all of their commitments to their path and their craft. But the level of service, the level of access, the speed of response, the attentiveness to what the exact right combination is, the combination of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which we didn't even have time to get into, which gets into a whole range of what makes the experience of both of you completely not like a relationship therapist, couples counselor. It's like none of those terms even remotely encapsulate what the two of you bring to the table. So for all of you listening, take a next step into their orbit, support@devotionallove.com as an email, get on their calendar. But be serious. Don't be somebody who's just going to waste their time. Do you hear? They're intentional with their time. They could be with each other cultivating their extraordinary relationship, or they could be on a call to explore about making yours extraordinary. But if you're not serious, don't waste their time. Let them do what they do on this earth with those for whom they are to do it. I want to say thank you to the two of you. And this isn't about, all your work in the world with all the others. So.
Doing great.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate you. Love you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Yeah. We've known each other for a very long time. So we'll close it out here. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. I love you very much.